Well, I was gonna say
Anyway.
it reminded me of.
I'm gonna walk back all
It
the
reminded
jokes
me of when
thought
I worked in retail when I was in college, and I remember that. So if you ever want to see some of the most downright disgusting stuff in your life, just work in a store that's been around for a couple of decades. It's guaranteed that like somebody's going to forget to just clean something, or there's going to be enough turnover in the staff that things that need to be cleaned are not going to be cleaned. So I remember the milk coolers. The milk coolers were kind of outdated.
Oh.
They were from the previous company
What did Cole
that
yell?
was in the building before Walgreens bought them out. It was a local company for Delaware. And so there was a point where all the customers were complaining that day that it smelled, and we were like, whatever. Because we were all in the, like, a bunch of us were in the back, like, working on some stuff, and we were like, they're probably just being customers, you know, or whatever. And then we walked up there to bring some, like, drink carts up to the cashier, and we were like, holy shit, it stinks up here. And then we, like, pull the tray, like, we pull the cover off of the bottom of the milk cooler, and then pull out these trays like this. So it was like it had like a hook on it, so you had to unhook the top part of it and then pull that out.
Oh my god.
So that was on the bottom of the milk cooler, and then we pull out the trays underneath, and it was just like curdled milk like all up in there and just like really like nasty shit.
I knew.
And so I like looked at my manager.
Oh, you've been saying
and I was
milk
like,
this whole time. Okay, I'm here now.
So yeah, milk. Yeah. So I said to my manager, I was like, what the hell do we do? And he just goes, it's what you're going to do. Grab your gloves. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. So I had to go and take that shit over to the sink. Now, mind you, the sink is all the way in the back of the store, and this is at the front of the store. So I had to very carefully transport these trays of just terrible, nasty liquid.
Yeah, I would have walked out
to the back. I'm
not doing that, actually.
I was a little close. I'm not going to lie. It smelled terrible. I had to get like, this was my first experience with like putting on one of those, you know, like the folded masks or whatever, or the medical masks.
Yeah, that was his last time.
Strapped that shit on immediately. And then
staunch anti-maxer.
Boom.
Yeah, dude, I would have put on like a hazmat suit.
Okay, bro. Anyway, so I go to the back, and it is disgusting, dude. Like, I thought it was bad when it was all sitting there, right? When I had to pour that shit down the sink and then start cleaning it, oh my God, it was awful. The stuff that I have dealt with in retail, dude, people are just disgusting. There are just so many disgusting things that like go into running a store. Like, I remember the time that there was an employee at another store that I worked at where, and this is going to get disgusting for people that have queasy stomachs.
For audio listeners eating while listening to the podcast, I'm sorry.
Just stop for a bit. Just stop for a bit.
Eating.
No. So I was talking with another employee, and we were like, just having a casual conversation about something. And a lady comes down the aisle, and she's an older lady, and she goes, hey, where's your bathroom? And she gives us too much information, and we're like, oh, it's back that way.
Shit. Hell.
Basically, yes. So little did we know. So she reaches the end of the aisle, and then we see her shake her leg out, and then just a liquidy piece of shit just falls out into the middle of the floor. And I was like an assistant manager at the time, or like a shift lead, and I was like, what the fuck? And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a little bit of fun with the cashier while she's taking care of her business. So I go up to the cashier and I say, Alex, I got a job for you. And he's like, what? And I just point down the aisle, and he immediately covers his mouth and is like, no, don't make me do it. Please, no. And I was like, no, it's fine, dude. I got it. So I went and cleaned that up. All right. And we thought that the storm was over. But no, it got worse. All right. It got even worse. So she got out of there. She got out of the place and then went about her business. She got out of the bathroom and then went about her business, buying her stuff and then leaving.
Wall.
No.
On the
Arguably
ground.
worse, but we'll see. We'll see what
On the
y'all
ceiling?
think. So
Dripping
no.
like rain?
So it was
Stalactites forming
So,
on the ceiling like a cave.
another shift lead goes in after her
my.
to like see what the damage is, right? And it smells rank in there. So she's like, I'm just gonna clean it and then I'll go to the bathroom, right? So I was like, cool, do your thing. So she cleans the whole bathroom and then she sits down and, you know, is doing her thing and then pulls down on the toilet paper. And apparently this customer had touched her shitty hands all over the toilet paper and then rolled it back up. Instead of
That is
just
so.
That's some
instead of just pulling it
devious.
off.
You just violated
was-
the etiquette. Like, you shouldn't
was-
do that regardless
It
of the
was
evidence.
bad, dude. So the other shift lead just
The
touched
etiquette.
this stuff. And it was like, oh my fucking God, dude. Like, people are so gross. Just, ugh.